You're watching America Trends, and our first guest, I'm so excited to introduce you to her. She's Monica Fullerton of Spousely, which is a Etsy type marketplace website that is made by military spouses for, I believe, everyone, but it supports military families. And we are such big fans and supporters of the military. I just had to get Monica on the show to talk to her about this amazing website. Monica, I'm so happy you're joining us today.
Hi, Mary. It's great to see you.
Great to see you as well. I heard about you from Sylvia Ma, who's been on our show before, and I believe you met her through Stella Labs and
Yep.
everything she's doing with Stella Angels. And did you utilize her nonprofit organization to help you get some funding, or how did you two connect?
Yeah, I actually met Sylvia through a mutual friend, and I just heard about all the amazing work that she's doing. Yeah, you nailed it. She has a lot of different things going on. There's Women's Venture Summit coming up. I just got accepted into her Ad Astra boot camp, which will be awesome. So just a ton of great resources to connect founders like myself with investors and ongoing tools and resources.
So before we get into what Spousely is exactly, I want to hear a little bit about you. You are a military wife, correct? And
Yes.
you have twins, I think I read.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Twin
So,
mom.
twin mom, all the power to you. I have two daughters. They are not twins, but they are a handful. So I can only imagine that twins are even more so. But
Yeah.
tell me about you and how you and your husband met and your journey to getting to starting Spousely.
Yes, I will give you the quick rundown. So, my husband and I were actually high school sweethearts. We never imagined in a million years that we would end up, together after we went off to different places for college. So, he went off to Boulder to join ROTC to start his journey into the Air Force. And I moved to South Florida in hopes of pursuing my broadcasting and communications career after I finished up my master's. And love happens. We ended up getting back together. And at that point, I had a very difficult decision to make because I wanted to be in South Florida forever. That was where I wanted to raise a family, build my career. But I knew what that meant if I was going to get back together with him and starting to live this military life. And so that's what's allowed me to, where I'm at today, create Spousely. But it's been through a lot of different ups and downs and challenges as a military spouse.
Yeah, there certainly are a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. I thank you for your sacrifices and your service and your husband's service to our country. And so tell me where the idea of Spousely came from.
Yeah, so it all stemmed just honestly from my blood. It was boiling because unlike other spouses, I had a full-time remote career, and that's really hard to find with the military lifestyle. We usually move around about every 2 to 3 years. And so I was always inspired by the amount of talent within our military community alone that I was like, I have to do something to bring everyone together in one easy place for people to shop small and make a big impact. So Spousely, I like to call it Etsy meets Angie's List, but with a focus on shopping for social good and supporting our nation's heroes and their businesses. So we have military spouses, veterans, veteran spouses, and first responders as well. And we are truly a people versus products marketplace. And that's what makes us unique and has allowed us to grow so quickly over the past year since launching right before the pandemic.
Wow. So many great things here. So you have to submit something to say you are a military personnel and or spouse or first responder, correct, in order to establish your shop?
Yes. So we are partnered up with GovX, and they're the ones who handle all of our technology in terms of verification. So as long as you're part of the military or first responder community, you're approved then to set up your shop. And what is so incredible is that anyone can shop on Spousely. And what we're doing is really focusing on purchasing with a purpose.
Yeah, I love that. And you said common good, social good, some of your
Yes.
products that people sell. So what are the types of things that you're seeing people sell and what are successful?
Yeah, so on the product side, we have everything ranging from home goods, apparel, kids and baby books, all different kinds of products, truly a one stop shop where you can find a wide variety. And then on the service side, we also have vendors that are real estate agents, CPAs, attorneys, business coaches. And the goal is to really bring everyone together into one easy marketplace to find both products and services, which is what makes us truly unique.
Wow, this is so awesome. I'm thinking this is where I'm going to go do some Christmas shopping.
Yes, you can find a little bit of everything. And, as we continue to grow, you'll see all of the categories continuing to get filled. We launched a little over a year ago with only 30 vendors, and we've grown to over 300 vendors, and we're adding more on a weekly basis.
Wow, that's so amazing. And do you monitor everyone that comes in and make sure, like, are you handling technical problems and that kind of thing?
Yes, and that is my favorite part about everything, Mary. It's just been being able to be alongside of these vendors. We have everyone from even widows on the platform who have lost their service member, their spouse in duty, and it's just been one of those things where it just feels so good to be able to support them and to provide that extra income generating opportunity, no matter where the military life sends us.
Wow, and I was seeing a little blurb there that had a picture of the vendor, the seller, and then was there a little blurb where you can read a little bit about them? Like you said, there's some widows on there, and people. I'd love to. That's even takes it a step farther, right? Where you get to know the story of the person you're buying from.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And that's what truly separates us from our competitors is just being able to learn about what the impact that it's making on our community. And that's by getting to know the amazing vendors that we have on the platform and just learning about them. We have vendors that started their business while their spouse was deployed. So that way they would have an outlet and a creative outlet to do something to keep their mind busy. We also have vendors that do this full time now as their business and it moves around with them and just truly a variety, which is so inspiring.
Now, do you actually make anything?
So I had a small business. I still run it. I was actually on Etsy, which is why I was so eager to create a platform like Spousely, just because I knew what it would be taking that step further, that community that truly gets it. And so I started my business in college with my mother-in-law, and it was a great tool and resource to have that extra income to move around with us.
So that's what. Where were you when you had the idea? Like, hey, I could do this myself.
That is a great question. So I was actually on the way to dinner with a few fellow military spouses. And I remember sitting in the car just being like, you are so amazing. You create this, you make coffee, you have this business. Like I was literally just like, naming everybody in the car and just how much talent was just in that one car that I came up with the idea of creating the marketplace. And I remember I would always tell my friends, that's so spousely of you, because they would always think of the best way to just brighten someone's day or to, just be there for one another, both in life and in business.
That's so great. Yeah, I was wondering about the name Spousely, where that
Yeah,
came from. So that's it just kind of rolled off the top of your tongue.
that's so spousely of you.
So Spousely, I love it. And
Yes.
how about getting investors? What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so I have been bootstrapping since launch. We are a very quick growing community right now. So we are raising our first round of capital. We decided to do it through a crowdfunding platform. We are on WeFunder right now. It actually just launched a little over a week ago, and we already have raised a little over 100,000. And we will be trying to raise about 500,000 to really take Spousely to the next level, increase marketing efforts, grow our team, and honestly, the marketplace is just such a great vehicle to continue doing amazing work that gives back to these families that give.
And then the Women's Venture Summit, you mentioned that briefly.
Yeah.
Is that something you'll be attending? Or are you part of the pitching that's happening there?
So I will be attending that one. So that will
You don't
be
need to
amazing.
pitch because you already have your company.
We actually just won a Startup Nevada pitch competition and we just made the Forbes Next 1000 list. So a lot of exciting
Yes,
stuff.
that's amazing.
Yes, but for the Venture Summit, I will be attending, just listening to, I have some fellow spouses that are actually speaking at it. So just being there to learn, support, connect with other investors and entrepreneurs. And then I will be attending, I was accepted into their boot camp that's going to be going on at the end of next month, which will be just such a great, awesome opportunity to be around other like-minded entrepreneurs.
Now, gosh, just talking to you and thinking you have twins too, and you're so busy and you're traveling. I mean, I'm a working mom too. It's so
Yes.
hard to juggle it all. Plus, then you add the level of that you're a military spouse. So, might you move again? Are you planted for a while?
We've been very lucky. We've actually been in Vegas now for a little over 6 years, which is very unheard of for the military life, but it has allowed me to have that stability to be able to do what I'm doing today. But we will, be moving probably in the next 2 to 3 years. So just gonna have to adapt, and that's what us spouses are good at. And that's what is so amazing about Spousely, is that it's just filled with so much strength, creativity, and resilience.
And you can do it from wherever you get transferred to
Yes.
next. And how old
Yep.
are your twins?
They just turned 5, so they are in kindergarten, and it is going very well. They love it, but we are all about structure here because, as you know, both, working parents and just kind of having all of those other outside factors. It's been great to have the stability and to get them on a routine.
A routine. Oh, yes. I remember
Yes.
those early days of routine. Well, Monica, thank you so much for your time today. I loved talking to you, and I love what you're doing with this. I am definitely going to do some Christmas shopping already. I'm going to start now on Spousely. And thank you so much, Monica. And stick around, everyone at home. We've got more America Trends right after this.